Hello, I'm John Kempson. I come from Birmingham City University in the UK, and I've been working with a team of engineers who have been implementing lean improvement schemes in local companies to get their efficiency of operation much higher than previously. This follows on work from Toyota, who started this work in the 1960s and 70s, and so is following a now well-recognised path. The aim of the implementations with the companies then was to ensure that they were effective and achieved improved performance. And the way in which this could be assessed was the way in which management got involved and were committed to the process, the way in which the material given to the company employees was seen to be relevant, and the way that the exercises undertaken during the training was seen to be helpful in understanding how to apply the lean tools. Another success factor was the way in which encouragement after the basic training had been given, the employees were assessed and encouraged to continue their improvements to the company performance. A major success factor of BCU working with the companies was the ability to set company-specific exercises. And these were done in the middle of the courses, particularly when the setup reduction or SMED exercises were done within the classroom. Examples of these special exercises were setting up a high-speed press, setting up a vertical machining centre, a CNC milling machine, working with a CNC turret press, and finally, in the slides coming, also a slitting process for producing sheet steel of the right width. This slide shows the vertical machining centre, and in this company the setup reduction was achieved mainly by better planning and by understanding how the loading of the tools for the new jobs were actually organised before the setup was required. In other words, when the last job was running. And this slide shows the slitting equipment with three options for the slitting cutters, and in reverse you can see the company suggests we aim to be world class. This slide is the first one of four in the paper that starts to demonstrate how we see that the results in the companies have been achieved. This one is particularly about both management commitment and also setting of a champion within the company so that they can encourage people to actually get the exercises going, do the continuous improvement, and starting improving the environment that they're working. As can be seen on the graph, there is a fair amount of scatter in the results, and this over the 10-year period is not unexpected, as some of the companies were effective and other companies were not so effective. But all companies made progress. As you can see from the implementation effectiveness, 40% was the absolute minimum improvement that was actually demonstrated. This slide shows a considerable number of low results, and really just one with exceptionally good results. And this can be explained by the fact that obtaining world-class capability in using lean tools takes a considerable amount of time. And most of the companies that we worked with, we probably only worked with 2, perhaps 3 years in total. So the amount of time to actually get through the lean pathway is good 10 years, probably 20 years, as demonstrated by Toyota in the automotive industry. So that so far most of the companies that we've seen have only started on this pathway. One item the customers particularly require is the need to have sustainable performance after the training has been undertaken. So that to do this, the team from BCU had to demonstrate that they could maintain sustainability. And the way this was done was to start with a pilot group, so that a significant part of the company was taken, and then after that spread that further around the company. Very often supervisory levels of the company were the ones that needed to be taken first, but getting a critical mass of just about 50% of the employees in a particular company was the requirement to get sustainability. The graph shows the results of this working towards sustainability. Most of the companies that only had a few trainees, particularly those that sent colleagues in 2s or 3s to a joint course with other companies, did not get quite as good implementation effectiveness as those that worked towards this 50% of the company employees. The better companies, as seen by the few to the right of the diagram, were able to get this improved performance, and because it was so visible, it was easier to maintain the management commitment that we've been working towards. Over this long period of time, 10 years, the team actually delivering the training was modifying its performance itself, doing the continuous improvement. And particular things stood out as being positive to maintain the improvement that we could see in the companies. Developing interactive exercises that demonstrated the lean tools in the training area was certainly one of the success areas. Getting to management and making their commitment really visible before we even started the training also helped the performance. And finally, setting up company champions so that even when the trainers weren't there, they could take on the role of facilitating meetings and improvement activities. The final graph then shows the output over the time period. And what can be seen is a reduction in overall performance of the implementations for the first couple of years or so. This was because we had some very keen companies to start with, and management commitment was there right at the beginning. In the middle, people had heard about the performance of the first companies and sent their employees along to be trained, or arranged for us to go in to train them, but didn't necessarily put the management commitment right at the front end, or even set up champions for them to continue it. So once we got those two things into perspective, then we got the improved performance that's happened over the 2006 to 2009 period. So in conclusion, getting a company to work towards lean operations has been developed with the help from the university, particularly in developing the use of lean tools. And this is, over the 10-year period, been seen to be happening in a large number of industrial sectors beyond the manufacturing environment. In our case at the university, we have even tried this within the health service. The National Health Service has actually had some successful groups going through the same training process, with relevant exercises being quite considerably changed so that it fits their particular environment. We are now beginning to see that these companies and organisations are setting themselves up as learning organisations.